We're on.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody.
Grand
Good morning.
risings.
Good morning.
Today we are on the spontaneous roll.
Yeah, we're winging
Emma, over to you.
it. Okay. We were talking about something, but now we're going to take it further. Every night, almost every night before I go to bed, I switch off my phone. And any night my phone stays on, my dreams are different. My dreams are more vivid, but very weird, it's a little bit more morbid when my phone is on. When my phone is off, my dreams are usually, I'm a lucid dreamer, but the content is not really that morbid. It's usually based on memory, and then they're not like you have these characters that come, and you can't identify the characters, but they're so real. Like people. Like there was once I actually dreamt of a war in Sarajevo, and I was like a fly on the wall, and I could actually understand the language they were speaking. I didn't even know what language it was. But I took a fly on the wall position, and I could smell the chaos. So it wasn't like just observing it. It was like I was in it. I have those kind of dreams every now and then. But last night, something really weird. I didn't switch off my phone because I was trying to upload this video. And I had a dream where somebody I'd never met before, I've never seen the person before, actually called me by my name and my surname. And I said, "How did you know my name?" And he said, "It's a secret. I got it from Secrets. Yeah, but don't worry, I'll let you know." And then I woke up. Really freaky. Really, really.
Do you dream often?
Yeah, every night. Every time I sleep, I daydream. It's something that I can be talking to you right now. I flick out. Yeah, but
So is your middle name Joseph?
no, no Technicolor dream code here. just my T-shirts. No, but I just found it funny that because I read somewhere that if your phone is on at night, the transmission is still going on, even if you put the phone on standby. Like with your television too.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is
but they
true.
say they always recommend that you put your phone on. What do you do when you want to get on the airplane?
Sleep.
Sleep. Like
it's surprising mode. You say that, because when I have my phone on, and mine is really because when the house isn't full, one child is somewhere, so I want to be able to hear if anybody needs me at any, not that I'd be able to help much if they're thousands of kilometers away, but just to be there. And when I put it under my pillow, not like where my head is, but under my pillow, it's a very restless sleep. That I have noticed. But so I started putting it on the floor.
Yes.
And then I put it on vibrate, so I can hear. The ring is off, but if it vibrates, it'll rattle a few books and everything. And I'm sleeping much better. It's really interesting that you say that, because this is recently as well. That if you come in, my phone is on the carpet beside my bed.
Have you had any experiences like this, though?
I wouldn't say I've noticed or have actively looked out for such an experience, but it's something to actually think about or try and see. It's better, I know, to not have your phone on when you're asleep because of the waves coming through from the phone. So you might be onto something there.
And the thing is, the waves are encoded, because that's how you transfer information anyway.
Yeah,
they're encoded, and the thing is, you now have a situation where they are uniformly encoded per person because you have a signature number. It's data transfer. So now we're transferring data, but we're transferring data at a much faster rate. And we're transferring a lot of data at a much faster rate. So it is very easy for you to actually hide data within the data being transmitted, which is why they say, you know, eye products, they can switch on your webcam and all. I know we're jumping into something scary. We don't want to scare people off, but
no, I don't want to be scared either.
yeah, but I'm saying, because, okay, like now my phone is on, I might say one or two keywords, and then, you know, on the Android, we have our own type of Siri. Yeah, it's called Bixby. If I say Bixby now, or hello Bixby, and or
Hi, Siri.
yeah, it would just come on. And in the middle of conversations, like on Friday nights, and when I'm doing my poker nights, and it would just come on and say, "Oh no, I can't identify this particular word." I'm like, I didn't ask you anything. And I didn't activate you. It just activates itself.
Okay, you're just talking maybe with friends,
Yeah,
perhaps?
just talking with friends, and there would be
and
trigger
then
words.
it cuts in.
Yeah, so that's already before we had the knowledge box situation with telecoms, because when I remember I used to work for Cisco Systems, this is in like 2000, and they were doing something called an IP telephony rollout. But it also had knowledge box systems. It wasn't that intelligent, which means that you needed trigger words now to get information back and forth. Yeah. But now you've gone into, you know, artificial intelligence, and it's no longer based on.
How intelligent is artificial intelligence?
It's super intelligent.
It depends on if you're using quantum computing. Which I think
it hasn't been very intelligent for A-level and GCSE results. It's dumbed everybody down to the middle of the bell curve. No outliers.
But I think that's what education, I mean, what you call traditional education, I think that's the objective of traditional education anyway, because if you're telling somebody that you're coming to school to learn how to get a job, you're not really giving them any education. You're giving them information on how to just remain subservient. It doesn't matter what level they come into. You're just giving them information to become a corporate slave. You're not educating them, because true education lies in giving somebody inspiration to research, to find things out for themselves. So,
but you need the baseline. You need the 3 R's, so to speak. And then when you have that, then that kind of stimulates you have to have some form of communication when you're researching and all of that, you know. So they educate
the quadratic equation.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly. You know, or Pythagoras theorem. I mean,
I can't remember.
That's what I'm saying. How, see, this little device, modern education, yeah, a child would pick up this device and go to Wikipedia or Google, and they can find out more than the teacher would actually talk about in a week. They'll find it out in 5 seconds. So what are you teaching them to do exactly? I mean, you have to.
It's a bit of a, I mean, apologies to anybody, it's not for anyone to take offense, but the traditional education is a bit like a glorified babysitting service.
Yes, of course.
Know, and then as they get older, you're giving them more interesting games to play. We go from spelling and counting 1, 2, 3, and then we start learning, oh, let's see what we can do with symbols and numbers. You start going into equations. It doesn't necessarily mean, I would have loved to have done literature for GCSE. Well, it was WAEC for us, but I couldn't do literature because I had to do physics.
Okay.
And I hated physics, and I failed physics, and I still don't understand physics. But the literature carried on the side on my own. I didn't have any teacher, or I stopped literature formally in Form 3.
But you see,
you know, but you still have the love for it.
But if yes, but then the requirement to do what I wanted to do was I had to do physics.
Yeah.
And the way the school was structured, I couldn't do physics and do literature.
Yeah.
But if I know now, if I knew then what I know now,
yes,
it would be stuff your physics.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, you know. So now look at us. We have kids. Your child, like my son, Perfect example. My son initially wanted to do something to do with IT, hence because daddy did it. He tried, he didn't like it. Went into school, came out. He tried one or two other things. Then he took himself to music school. I didn't even know he was into music. Now he's producing music. You've heard some of his tracks. He's making music. The jingles we use for our advertisements, he writes all the jingles. And he
Oh, wow.
something that he wanted to do, that he loved to do, and he's excelling at it. And it's not laborious, it's not intensive for him. It's fun for him. He does.
So should we send our children to school?
I think we should first of all pay more attention to what our children are or who they are and what they love, and then
you have to,
them
if you're not sending them to school, that has to start early. You can't send them to school, then halfway down the line you decide, because even today on the news, it was like they were talking about the whole COVID situation and saying that COVID is less dangerous to children than not going to school.
Yes.
So basically everybody has to be back in school in September. And I read also through this pandemic, some parents were saying this was actually a blessing for them, for those who have children who don't want to go to school.
Yes. I mean, I'm old school. Yeah. I'm old school, and that phrase is really bad for this too. Old and school. Okay, let me change it. Very confusing thing now. Okay. I believe in having a good education, but I don't believe in overloading kids with unnecessary information that they would not use, that is not pertinent towards them getting, because as human beings, what is our fundamental function code? We're here to solve problems. That's all we're here to do. To navigate, communicate, procreate, but to solve problems. The problems that actually are synonymous with the environment we find ourselves in. That's it. That's all we're here to do. So our children have to be educated in solving problems, but they have to also be able to identify what kind of problem they want to solve. So that would be a better educational system to me. I would rather teach kids how to farm. I'll teach kids how to make a fire. I'll teach kids how to change a tire. I want them to have the practical knowledge so they can cope with everyday life. So they have one less thing to worry about. There's no point in you having a master's degree and you don't know how to boil an egg. It doesn't make any sense. This is just me. So,
but you need that variety as well. You need the bankers, you need the explorers, you need the physicists.
Bankers, I'm not so sure, but explorers, yes. Bankers and lawyers, I take a little bit of it, but explorers, perhaps. No.
So we're not free then, are we?
No, of course we're not free. We've never been free. If we were free, then we wouldn't actually have the word freedom as a cause that we're fighting for. Every day we're fighting for freedom. Freedom from what? That means we're not free. We've never been free. I mean, first of all, the mere fact that we have to talk about being free tells you that you're not free, because if we're free,
so
freedom
should
would
we
not
be free? Issue. Should we be free?
Yeah, but we don't even know what we're getting free from. What are we getting free from? So until we understand who is keeping us captive.
It's ourselves. We're keeping ourselves captive.
Yeah, but first of all, we're looking at the institution of self, and then the macrocosm as well.
Like the institution of the church and the institution of the monarchy.
Exactly, that we talked about earlier on. So
yes.
Are we free? I mean, there's a guy who was talking about being free, but yet,
born free.
Yeah, exactly. 2:00 in the morning, he has to stop at the traffic light and wait for it to go red. Or wait for it to go green before he goes. Boy, he's free. Yeah, but he's free. Yeah. Okay. There's no traffic anywhere. No traffic. But he has to stop at the traffic light and wait. It goes green before he goes. That's so what is
That's a good one.
Freedom?
That's like, a good one.
In the Matrix, where the guy says, "What is real?" How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can taste and touch, real are only electric signals interpreted by your mind. And that's...
So it's freedom from self we should be talking about.
Yeah, it's a start. This is, you know, we have...
Know thyself.
Yeah, know thyself. I think if you just stop telling, like, okay, the video I was recording that I told you I couldn't post, it was just about internal conversation. What you say to yourself. Which is good. Let me just deal with it now, briefly. I was having a conversation with
Emma, briefly.
Yeah, I know, it's very difficult, very difficult. This guy, okay, you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm going to put us on pause just for a second and I'll come right back.
So we're not free from Emma now.
Exactly.
So,
so 1 second.
My phone face down, otherwise it
All
will
right,
keep
we're
distracting.
We're back. I apologize. I had to deal with someone.
Okay.
So Dawn, what's all this to you with children and
Oh no, I was
education and
yes,
freedom?
it was very interesting. We need to
I you know, always have a radical approach to these things, and I know that from when a child is born, everything the child needs to survive or needs to thrive in life is already encoded, you know. This is why a child can come if you nurture that child in what he or she loves. He can tinker with it up to adulthood and receive a doctorate from a university without passing through the four walls of a classroom.
Yes.
Just because he loves it so much.
Mm.
He's mastered it so much. He knows the ins and the outs. He's lecturing professors. He's lecturing students because that knowledge is from within. That knowledge he's grasped it.
You must read the book Where the Crawdads Sing.
Where the crow?
Where the Crawdads Sing.
Okay.
Amazing. Amazing.
I'd like to get that.
And it's exactly what you're saying. A feral child who grew up in the wild.
There's that feral child again thing, yeah.
Who grew up in the wild.
You know, but the book me on that the other day.
The book is absolutely, I have it on Audible, I have it on Kindle, I play it in the car. You know, it just teaches you everything. Oh, it's amazing. You should read it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's my concept, you know. And why do we have to force a round peg into a square hole?
Yeah.
If the child is thriving and really likes, you know, what he or she is doing,
absolutely,
it's so good and well. But if that child is struggling, why do we force? Why?
It's that thing. You know? Remember what that Bishop Mponga said, that the greatest battle on earth is fought for this thing between both your ears, you know? It's because jobs need to be filled.
I agree.
You need to earn money, I guess.
Yeah. It's a system, you know, like in the UK. When I was living there, the first thing I noticed when I got my first mortgage, I was like, oh yeah, you get to a particular age, you have a job, and then you get a mortgage, and then you pay your mortgage, and then after you pay your mortgage, you know, car payments, credit, kids, private school or public school, whatever, but always in credit, payment, then retirement, and then the cycle continues. But then when I discovered about the concept of a birth certificate, what it is, that's when I understood. Really, oh, okay. Because you're actually collateral for society.
Yeah.
That's all you are. That's why they have to certify you. They have to give you a certificate. So you have become collateral, and the economy is actually, the prediction of the economy is based on the activity of that collateral. You know, to keep the economy churning. You know? So
it's absolutely 100%.
And so the whole system is structured like that, which is right. What's happening now is people are tired, and change has
because
to come.
like anything, the soul can be repressed, suppressed, battered, but it can never die.
It can't die.
You know, many people are saying you're doing a job you don't like simply because you have to put food on the table. This is this is not. I mean, the first thing.
But that's already death. It's just that you're not 6 foot under. That's
death. That's death.
And that is
that's
where
living death.
that is where the 99% of the population are. They are constricted in this rat race, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
So it brings us back to the same question again. Why?
Don't you think that rats have been given a very bad rep? I mean, they're not.
R-A-T Ofunguru.
Rat race, ratatouille, all of that.
But they're a very, very clever species.
I know.
Very
resourceful.
Yeah, but you can't take away the sneakiness from them.
but that is truth. They're living their truth.
Yeah.
You're the one pretending
I guess
that you're the rats are doing
right.
absolutely what they need to
they're
do.
Supposed to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son was 13 when he went to boarding school. And the usual thing, you pack a tuck box for them, you put this, you put that, and everything. And he likes Indomie. They all like Indomie noodles. Emma, I don't know if you know Indomie.
My dear, I am in Indomie. I'm looking at it right now. Nigeria and Indonesia, biggest consumers of Indomie on the planet.
Oh, wow. And he took everything and he was like, oh, Mama, I don't need this. I don't need this. I said, just take it. You don't know, you know the mother now, you want to make sure he's okay and everything. And he went to school and he sold all his Indomie.
He sold it. That's my guy there.
He sold every single one.
That is my guy there.
And then called me and said, Mama, my Indomie is finished.
Oh, this is my boy. This is what I did now when I was... I used to have auction for my provisions when I was in secondary school. I used to have auction and say, this one going.
And that was the beginning of, him realizing his business mind.
Exactly.
And I told my friend, Audrey Dawn, and she said, encourage him.
Precisely.
So she bought him, I only gave him a few packets. Audrey bought him a packet of Indomie and brought it home for him. And said, the profit you make for it, use it and buy your next box.
Yeah.
And that is from the age of 13, year 9.
Yeah.
He hasn't stopped. Oh, Mama, I like these trainers. I could show you boxes of trainers he's bought. 2 days later, oh, I bought it for 40 pounds. I've sold it.
That is it.
That's angel for you.
Believe me, that's something that you should push. You should really.
Oh no,
you should encourage him to do. Yeah.
I let him. I said, do what makes you happy. And you can see him, his lights, his eyes are glowing.
Yeah.
When he's making transactions and negotiations.
Yeah, well, whenever he's...
Dawn is laughing. She's Dawn's son. That's why Dawn is laughing.
When he's on holiday, send him here, please. I need you.
That's Angel. Here. That's Angel as well. She just gets stuff from... on sale and goes and sells it on their website, Depop or something like that.
Wow.
Sometimes it's not on sale. Sometimes it's not on sale.
They know how to barter.
They know how they go about it.
And one time I was so upset with him. I said, I bought it for you. You said you liked it. I bought it for you. Mama, I'll give you your money back. He has made his profit.
You can buy it again.
So honestly is let them do what comes naturally to them.
Yeah.
Let them do what they want.
A lot of people say that, but how many people are able to do it?
Yeah.
Because the first thing you see is society is going one way and you're going another way, and fear kicks in.
Yeah.
What if I don't make it?
Yeah.
What if people laugh?
What if you do?
Yeah.
You know, they don't, it doesn't, you know, they're unable to get their minds to that point, to that strong point where they feel they can rely on themselves and their inner beings to push them through, you know? They cannot.
I think you need to know what it feels like to feel good.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
110%.
Because I tell them when something goes well, say, how do you feel? And you can tell how each one feels. You can tell from their body language and everything.
I do that as well.
You say, it feels good, doesn't it? I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Now park that feeling.
Yeah, and
anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, access it. And when they're going to work, I never fail to say,
yes, if you don't
fun,
feel like
have
this,
a good time.
Don't do it.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it's a powerful thing to allow children to feel this thing. Like even with Lucy right now, she's all over the place. She wants to do this, that, and the thing is, I don't discourage anything because when I read about Imhotep, the real Imhotep, not the one in.
What's Imhotep?
Imhotep was a multi-genius. He was a multi-genius.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, as a physician, he was an architect, and, you know, he really excelled in all. And I always thought.
What book was this?
About 6 or 7 different books. I don't remember the title.
Okay.
Over the years. And I remember my dad always telling me that if you can't focus on one thing, you'll never be able to finish, which is correct.
Yeah.
It's correct. Yeah. Because
correct-ish.
Yeah. But no, I mean,
it's that's his own truth.
Yeah.
That's his own truth because
no. This proved to be my truth as well because one of the reasons
for
why
me, I've struggled with this.
Yeah.
I've struggled with this, and I came to the conclusion that, well, as a woman, I can have as many children as I want, right? And I can raise all of them. Yeah. Why do I need, if I'm doing a business, why do I need to have only one business? Yeah, I can have 10 businesses.
You have to go back again to the structure of society and what it's supposed to produce in order to allow for society to engage in its
function
continuity. You know, the monotony of continuity.
Yes.
So he was raised that way, when I started my furniture company. I had my IT consultancy then. I started a furniture company with 2 friends of mine back in London, and we're importing furniture from Malaysia. This is like 99. Having to run the 2 in parallel, working in IT and working with I could barely hold down a relationship because I was always so busy, 14, 15 hours. And then when you're bad with money combined with that, you understand? Then the inevitable bankruptcy came. You know, because you're working hard, but you're spending ostentatiously. That's because I didn't know what money was. I wasn't educated financially, yeah? And I liked the good life. So, but now, I have more than one interest. I have quite a few. I can see why the difference. Me then, me now. It's not the amount of businesses or interactions that I do. It is how well I understand who I am.
Yes, 110.
That
no,
it's just about me
150%.
understanding who I am and knowing that I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this, and I want to do this and this and this, and it doesn't really matter. I have to understand who I am. So it's not really about all the dynamics and the technicalities, just about self-awareness. And
it is.
So, yeah. So
on self-awareness, is it important to have achieved self-awareness to go into a relationship? Or
I would say it is, but the thing is, it might isolate you because
you're waiting for the perfect situation. And
it's not necessarily that because you're not resonating on the same wavelength as a lot of people.
I know,
A
but
lot.
then isn't that why it's important?
You have to bring your
to have no, you're contradicting yourself. You have that self-awareness, and then you resonate with the people who are equally self-aware.
That's what I'm saying. There are not many of them around. So you might find it's a bit lonely.
Is it better to be alone or on your own, or to be lonely in company?
No, the thing is, you can be if you're very advanced.
Lonely in company.
You know,
if you're that quite a lot, you know.
A lot of times. You're sitting and you're smiling. Oh, lovely to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you.
Actually, I experienced that last night. I went out somewhere, and that was exactly.
Are you sure you're not experiencing it now?
No. My wife wouldn't even allow me to have that experience. She would evolve to anything.
No, but if you're very self-advanced, loneliness wouldn't come in, because there's nothing.
You're enough for you.
You're enough for you. There's nothing missing from you.
Well,
there's nothing absent from you.
This is this is a topic for another day, because it's a very, very.
Let me write it down.
Yeah, I think you should write this down. I think we should cover this thing in detail, because when you think about it, the fact that you have become self-aware means that you're self-educating, means that you're self-evolving.
Yes.
Means that
you're generating your own happiness.
Yes, but you're also more tolerant.
Absolutely.
Which also means that you can be with anybody, because you understand the process of getting to where you are. So you don't want to change them. You're no longer in a
dependent
or even an interdependent relationship.
Yes.
You have now become independent.
You're actually a better partner or wife or husband or whatever.
So we can look at it from two different directions, because exactly.
But you find that the other person may, well, like you said, there's a tolerance, but the other person may keep taking you for granted.
Yes,
but you don't. They think they're taking you for granted, but you're beyond that.
Yeah,
you are.
You're kind because you're kind.
Yeah,
you're tolerant because you're tolerant.
You know better,
and you're not better. You're not attached to their outcome.
You're not. No, you're not attached to
them. You're not looking for validation from them.
Yeah.
At all.
You know.
That's
so
whatever. The word actually I was looking for, the validation.
Whatever the other person is feeling or thinking or assuming, that's them.
Yeah.
And one day
this is a very powerful thing. We would discuss this at length. Because
okay,
this is I'm so glad you brought this up, because this is part of what I was trying to talk about and I couldn't post. You know, the same thing about you know, being alone with people and then with relationships, because relationships, when I went into a relationship in the interim, it was based on attraction. It wasn't based on understanding. My relationship with my wife now started with attraction, went into curiosity, went into acrimony, went into power struggle, and it's now come towards
love,
independent acceptance of self. So we're growing as individuals. So we're like, we come together because we want to, not because we need to.
Have to. Absolutely.
So there's no burden or you have to be here. No, it's like we want to.
She's not responsible for you.
Yeah. So now we find ourselves. Happiness. Yeah, we find ourselves flirting around more, you know, like playful banter. It's easier now because it's like, oh, you know, I like being with this woman and she likes being with me, you know, that kind of thing. And it took 9 years to get here.
Is that all?
Who knows where we'll be?
Is that all?
Well, remember that this is my third wife, technically.
Thank God for awareness.
Actually, second wife, but third, anyway, let's leave that one. Another topic. Lot of private information going out here. But yeah, interesting. You see, spontaneous, winging it. Now we've covered 3 very sensitive topics, and we've set the precedent for the next two videos that we will do, because we have 2 very strong topics that we will definitely look at. later on. So how are we on time? Oh, nobody's timing. Yeah, it's so exciting. It's spontaneous. No time. This one.
No time. I think
it is time to go.
We've done about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's time up.
yeah, maybe we should. So, Ammonia, you're closing today.
Am I?
Yeah.
Look, I'm free. I'm free. I can do what I want.
Until you get to the traffic light.
That traffic light. No, we have to find a way out. You know, even if it means coming out of the car, walking across, walking back. You have to prove that you're free.
You're free. Yeah. Well, you know,
thank you,
you can't actually. And there's a quote. I don't know it. It's something about being sane in an insane world. Yeah, who's really insane? Yeah, the people who say they're sane in an insane world. Who's really insane?
See all these mad people.
Nah, you know, you look at everybody. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're the ones that are actually insane. You know, the guy is so inconsistent. His inconsistency makes him consistent. Work on that one.
On that note, before we start showing more of our madness, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Dawn, for a lovely morning. I'm wide awake now and look forward to seeing you again next week and talk about something else. Have a lovely, lovely week and enjoy the last week of the summer month.
That's for you. It means summer around here.
Yeah, rub it in. Fine. Rub it in. Thank you, guys. And thanks for watching.
Have a lovely rest of the day, ladies.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.